you better watch out. If your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, lots of blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it worth their blood in. If you start shit, you be hard-lived in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your...
Our safety is built on agreements like NATO, which has protected us for 75 years. And our security is based on an understanding that we never give comfort to dictators. So why does Donald Trump keep siding with Putin? He said he'd walk away from NATO and gave Putin a green light to attack whoever he wants.
I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
He sold out Ukraine to empower Putin. He attacks American intelligence and law enforcement and sides with Putin instead, because this is who Donald Trump is, a lapdog for a dictator who blames America first. The United States must never be like Putin's Russia. We don't empower dictators. We don't undermine freedom.
My message to President Putin is simple. We will not walk away. We will not bow down. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Yeah, remember that guy? Remember him? He's not looking so sleepy now, is he? He's not looking so bad now, is he? Oh, my God. Welcome back to another segment of Morons Are Governing America, also known as MAGA. Man, do we have one hell of a show lined up for you. So much dumb stuff has happened this week that it's really hard to put it all into one show, which is probably why we're adding a third show because there's so much going on that we actually need to create a third live because of all the content. So we are going to go over quite a few things. Donald Trump showing off what he thinks is the real Declaration of Independence, which is absolutely hilarious. I have a funny video I made of Elon Musk that I'm going to share with you guys. JD Vance is not having a good time with all of this. And we have...
The couches are not taking his advances very kindly.
No. Donald Trump has denied that he signed the Alien Enemies Act. I have the video of that as well. He's going to build a Golden Dome missile defense system around the United States. And he wants it to be taxpayer funded, of course. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Bernie Sanders and AOC crushing it on their Fight the Oligarchy Tour. We're trying not to get our hopes up too much, like Mike pointed out before the show. The Kamala Harris had very large sizes, similar to what they have. But there may be a reason why it is different now, which we'll get into. Then we're also going to talk about the absolute biggest security fuck-up in United States history.
It's really not not an overstatement. Like,
as if we are shocked that this happened. But yes, our Secretary of Defense, the man in charge of our entire military,
former Fox News host, and that's
white
it.
Nationalist and known drunk and alleged abuser of women. Am I missing any characteristics, any qualities of the Trump administration guy?
Douchebag.
Yes, I forgot about douchebag. He is definitely one of those. They're just texting emojis and shit, talking about war plans and stuff. So we'll get into that towards the end of the show. But this is serious. This is extremely serious. Like, under normal circumstances, people would be in a military prison because of this.
Oh, yeah.
This is like administration. If this was Joe Biden, his entire career would have been over that moment.
But, like, we're going to do a lot of laughing tonight because, look, I tend to be
a lot.
Some weeks, some shows, I'm like really angry. Sometimes I'm trying to have a good time. This is one of those ones where I can't believe the things that are happening. And the fact that so many people are waking up to what's going on and they're still pushing the same bullshit. They're going to push it until there are people storming the gates. And this time it will be all Americans, not just a cult. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let's get into it, man. We got a lot to go over. So first, let's start off with some fun stuff. Okay?
Oh, wait, are you going for the Declaration of Independence?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
First, I want to talk about Donald Trump thinks that Barron Trump, when he's asked by I forget who it is. Who gives a shit? On Fox News, probably Laura Ingraham or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If he thinks the Barron Trump is going to be in finance or real estate, or what do you think his specialty is going to be? So Donald Trump explains that Barron is going to be in tech, and this is why. And I laughed my ass off when I watched this clip the first time. Oh my God, here's the next Elon Musk.
But is Barron's aptitude, in your view, business or politics?
Maybe technology. He can look at a computer. I try turning off his car. I turn it off. I turn off his laptop. I said, oh, good. And I go back 5 minutes later, he's got his laptop. I said, how'd you do that? None of your business, Dad. Unbelievable
still funny.
In technology.
It's so funny.
This is where I find Trump, and I hate to say this, fascinating. He is going to be studied because he doesn't know what he's saying in the sense that he's telling on himself.
Right.
He thinks he's genuinely like telling a story that is going to blow people's minds because he's so
right
mentally impotent that he is blown away by the fact that his son can turn on a laptop. Don't forget when they did that commercial on the White House lawn and he got into the car with Elon Musk and he looked at the Tesla, he went, it's all electronics.
It's all computer.
It's all computer. Like, the guy is literally shocked that his son knows how to turn the laptop on.
Right. And maybe Donald Trump does not know how to turn a laptop on, and he thinks that's actually like computer hacking. Like,
holy shit, you got it to turn on.
My son is a genius. I turned that off. How did you do that? What kind of wizard
I bet the first time in the 90s, someone opened up AOL in front of Trump, and he heard you've got mail. He demanded someone search for the person hiding in his computer.
I know, right? Who is that man?
Who is that man? How did he get in here?
Okay, all right, more laughs, okay. Now I'm sure most of you have seen the video of Elon Musk deep into a K-hole. Could we not beat around the bush here on this?
Look,
balancing silverware on his finger next to Donald Trump.
Who can say honestly what substance allegedly Elon is on? But I'll tell you a little something. That was not a drunk person.
No. Okay?
That was not someone who just hit a doobie. No. That dude is either tripping balls or he is on some other planet somewhere. And he's sitting like 5 feet from the president of the United States. And I don't call Trump that as an honorific. I'm just saying, logistically speaking, there's a foreign, illegal South African sitting next to the president and he's tripping balls. Yeah, isn't that a little bit of an issue for someone
balancing,
like, I don't know, Pete Hegseth maybe might be concerned?
There, dude, I was like, what world do we live in? Like, how is this reality? But anyway, you guys know that I have like perfect movie recall, right? So as soon as I saw this clip, I immediately thought of this clip from the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which was like 1988. With Steve Martin, and I can't remember the British actor's name. Is that
Michael Caine?
No, was it Michael? No, it wasn't Michael Caine. Anyway, I've titled this video "Elon Rupert Musk," and some of you will understand it if you're from my generation, but if not, enjoy.
Balancing the focus. Elon, what the hell are you doing?
Go on, Diana. You were saying?
Well, I think that the...
Rupert! May I take your trident, sir?
Aha! Thank you.
Don't take the cork off the fork.
Why is the cork on the fork?
To prevent him hurting himself and others.
Balancing the focus. Elon, what the hell are you doing?
Excuse me. May I go to the bathroom first?
Of course you may.
Yes, Yvonne, that is...
No, yeah. This is from...
He's the jerk. This isn't from the jerk.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm such an asshole. That's Elon Rupert Musk, ladies and gentlemen. And no, that's right. Michael Caine. He's not even British. I don't know. I was thinking of somebody totally different.
Wait, Michael Caine is British.
Is he? I can't honestly remember.
Oh my God, I don't know if he is or not.
I'll have to look it up. That was going to bother me. But no, that's from the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which is an absolute epic comedy. It's so funny.
We would be doing a disservice if I didn't bring this comment up, because in all fairness, we are making fun of Elon Trump because of his being a total shitbag. Maybe this is the case, and maybe he is so on the spectrum and he's having one of these moments. That's fine. But I'll tell you right now, that isn't the only disqualifying factor for Elon Musk to be anywhere near the president of the United States.
I mean, he's an openly admitted ketamine user. He's admitted it plenty of times.
Do you, buddy? But I don't know that you should be deciding which government contracts go to your company or not.
Right. Right. And while you're trying to cut Social Security, because Social Security is such a mess right now that people they haven't gotten rid of Social Security, but they've made it so dysfunctional that people can't call to ask questions. They can't call to verify their identity. They said the website has crashed like 4 times now since Elon Musk, which never happens. So, Elon Rupert Musk is just having a we'll call it an autistic moment with our government.
Rupert. I just want to start calling him Rupert.
But yeah, I don't care if he is autistic. I don't care if that was an autistic moment. The guy has no business being anywhere near our government. At this point, he has no business being in our country.
Well, with the crimes he is currently committing, which is the most abetted crime I've ever seen anyone in the United States ever commit, Donald Trump is giving our government access to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But you know what the funny part is? I don't even know if he even knows what Elon's doing. I mean, I'm being facetious. Of course he doesn't know, because as you're going to see, Jeremy has a clip, this whole thing with Pete Hegseth, the moment that Trump heard about it for the first time was at a press briefing. He doesn't even know what's going on around him with plans for war. And we'll get to that. Yeah, but we're going to have some more fun because, we gotta.
Of course. I watched some of the Senate hearing today, and they were not happy about it. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard would even answer. They asked her, were you part of this group text? And she wouldn't even answer that question. It was unbelievable.
Wait. When she said, I can't answer the question, the person that was grilling her was like, is that because it's classified information?
Right, exactly. And then if it's not classified, that means the reporter can literally release every single bit of that that text chain.
Holy crap.
I didn't know you were still alive. All right. So let's move on to some other stuff here that we want to talk about. Actually, you know what? While we're talking Social Security, I just want to show you how cold and heartless these people are. The man that Donald Trump has put in charge of Social Security is out there in the media trying to convince people that if a payment goes, if you miss a payment, just wait till next month. I'm sure it'll turn up.
Yeah, I mean, you have enough savings, right?
Right.
You have to have enough money.
Right. Then has the nerve. Exactly. Then has the nerve to be like, my mom wouldn't complain. Like, bro, you're worth like I looked it up. You're worth almost $100 million or like $50 million or some crazy shit. Your mom's probably not even on Social Security. You're not even just shut up about it.
It's rude. I don't mean to say it, but I'm going to say it. His mom is shitting in gold diapers, not worrying about what Social Security check is coming.
No, probably at the best nursing home money can buy.
We're not going to tell you to pay or not pay your taxes. We're just going to say make the right decision for you and your family.
I'm not. Excuse me. I have to get a little.
Ooh, good name drop. I love Malcolm Nance. Jeremy, you should read some of his books. This dude is smart. When Russia invaded Ukraine, he was like, "Well, I'm going back over now," and like he just has been in war zones for decades. He's like,
that's insane. I don't know how people do that. That's crazy. Just like reporting on war.
A good dude.
Ugh. So all right. Another person that's not having a good time right now is JD Vance, who was part of the text chain. And I want to talk about this so bad, but I'm going to wait till the end of the show to talk about it. All right. Now, this audio, we cannot 100% confirm that it is JD Vance. However, I've been watching this video circulate all social media, and not one of them has fact-checked it to be false. So it's the only reason I'm playing it. But again, I cannot confirm 100% that This is.
If you listen in the background, though, there are weird, mysterious, squishy couch sounds. So I think they're going to use that to verify the audio.
That's how he copes.
The thing that he's doing is getting criticized in the media, and he says that he's helping, and he's not. He's making us look bad. He's making me look bad. And I'll tell you this, and he wouldn't like it if I said it, but he's not even immigrant. He is from South Africa, and he's cosplaying as this great American leader in a room that has the portraits of some of the greatest men that ever led this country. And he has the audacity to act like he is an elected official. I am an elected official. I am the important one in this situation.
I'm important.
Well, if you have evident link to some fact check for this, please send it our way, because we've been looking and we haven't seen anything. I'm not saying anything about what information you have. We would like to see it.
No, but this is a good example of the dangers of AI, because if it is fake, I mean, because there's been actually quite a few bits of audio rolling around that I've been finding out that are fake.
The audio scares me. When they start making fake videos of people like Trump declaring war, that's when we're in trouble.
I mean, videos are getting way too realistic. They're still easily, but how long before one of these guys like Elon Musk makes it so you can't tell the difference between a real video and an AI video?
I don't think we could tell the difference between reality and a bad hallucination anymore.
It's hard to, but I like to play that just because I like to think that that's actually what JD Vance feels right now, because he's getting no attention,
Look,
no
we
love.
know he's a little baby boy who needs his mommy. Okay, we all remember the video of him going to the donut store. The guy has no interpersonal skills. He's so happy to be in that group chat that he will do anything to stay in there. If he doesn't get the gift doesn't load right away, he gets scared. Oh, it's terrible.
I can't believe this is our reality. So, all right, let's talk about the Declaration of Independence, because this is funny.
So we're going to show you the video that the media released. Okay, this is what I believe to be a heavily doctored video, because I got sources, and I got my hands on what really happened. So what you're going to see in the video after this, the angles are a little different, but he approaches what he believes to be the Declaration of Independence, and it's not. I wish this is how the video went, everyone.
I know.
I really do, because just watch it. It's worse than you think. He takes special interest in the document hanging.
He really does.
As if it might have some actual historical context.
Just look at the document. It looks like it's brand new, okay?
He got that at the gift shop. Someone got that at the gift shop at the very entrance of the White House. Think about that.
I swear he
called... go downstairs, Carl. Go downstairs and get one.
Right? I swear he called the archives or whoever's holding on to the Declaration of Independence. Like, I want it in my office, and I want curtains over it right now.
They were like... and open it so I can shock myself.
Just send him one of these copies we have and tell him it's the real one.
Give him one of the copies we give to the third graders on their field trip.
Right? But he's so proud of it with a curtain over it. And he's like, we have to put a curtain over it because the UV light will damage it. I swear Laura Ingraham I feel like she knows that's not the real one, but just can't tell Donald Trump these things.
Reagan.
Oh, I love Reagan.
But here's what they're like more than anything. So this is
Gulf of America, baby. Wow. What a man, baby.
He just that's in his office.
He's such a man-child.
It's never been up. It's been in the vaults for many, many decades.
It's been in the vaults for many decades.
We have to do something like drapes or something because the light eventually affects it. And it's very cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Just went up yesterday.
Bro, that is brand fucking new. Brand new paper.
Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it?
It's brand new.
The real one's browner than his orange tan. That's not real.
Bro, and the fact that he saw that and goes, yep, that's the one. 250-year-old document in perfect white paper. He's
Yeah,
so
wait a minute.
dumb.
So you're telling me that the archivists took the real one and had it matted nicely.
Right, they cleaned it. They cleaned it for him. They had it sent out to the cleaners.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. The easy solution to this whole problem is to believe that he knows it's fake and he's just lying because he wants to try and impress MAGA.
It's too dirty.
I really, really, really know in my heart that he thinks that's the real Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, he does. He does. They have the curtains. Like, he was so proud of showing it off. You think Biden would have thought of that? No, because
Also,
it's stupid.
Wait a minute. You know what's funny? You know how you know it's all nonsense? He says, do you think Biden would have thought of that? But he starts that conversation by saying to her, they wanted to do this. It's never been done before. So who was it? The mysterious they, or did you think of it because you just realized that, wait, Biden didn't do it. I can jab Biden again. Guy, you're 63 days in. You're the president. Stop talking about Joe Biden. You didn't run against Joe Biden. It doesn't matter anymore.
No. I miss Joe. I miss Joe. He was a good dude. Yeah. We got screwed as a country royally. Oh my God. But no, this is the reality that we are forced to live in now.
We are the country that Kristi Noem shot on her farm.
Yeah. So another thing happening is they're sending people to El Salvador that are not gang members. They're not getting any due process to prove they are not gang members. The one guy got sent there because of a Real Madrid tattoo.
Yep.
And now they're talking about sending Tesla protesters to El Salvador.
Yep.
Reminder, Mike has some photos. The worst prisons in the freaking world, y'all.
So, like, this isn't a place where people actually have the right to due process, okay? In America, even though we tend to abuse the system against certain people, everyone that isn't white, in general, we have some form of some checks and balances against just putting people in prison.
Yeah.
But we're now sending people who could be American citizens. See, this is the thing. They're not actually looking at who these people are. They're just going in. There's a video that I should have sent you, and I don't know if I did, of cops just busting in the window of someone and basically dragging someone's wife out of the car with a baby. This is the SS. This is the shock troops that are just going through an ethnic cleansing, whatever neighborhood they feel like it. Okay. When your creepy neighbor, the old white lady that looks through her blinds every time you walk your kids or water your garden, she's the one that called them on you.
Yeah.
That's what Donald Trump did to this country. And they're just taking people and sending them out of the country. And we don't know who they are.
Yeah. We don't even know if they'll ever be heard from again at this point. I mean, how do you get them back at this point? I feel this is tragic. This is a crime against humanity, what Donald Trump is doing. I'm going to be serious for a second. This is like a war crime. This is like a series. You're taking people and shipping them off like cattle to the worst prisons in the world. But to make it worse, go ahead, Mike.
No, you finished. Mine's finished.
Oh, yeah, to make it worse, another thing that the media is not covering is people are dying in Florida in their camp where they have a concentration of large people, thousands of people in a facility that only holds hundreds. Okay, so we have this is for MAGA. We have a concentration of people in a small camp. What would you call that? Okay, and people are dying. So now we have death camps in America. The people are being starved, no water, no medicine, no facility to use the bathroom. Elderly people are being left to soil themselves in fucking wheelchairs. Like, this is dead serious happening right now. And the media is out there acting like everything's normal. Everything's going to be okay. We're not committing crimes against humanities, just like the Nazis did right here in Florida. Oh, we're all good. Business as usual, apparently. So I honestly couldn't believe it when I heard the story. But I'm more mad about it. The media is just, they're like, fuck it. We don't care. We don't care anymore. We're just going to appease Donald Trump. That's all we care about anymore. So I'm done with it, man. I'm sick of it. So, but we called this. They're going to turn death camps. They're not going to deport people because they don't have the means, the resources, or the money to do so.
Wait. Legally, they're not allowed. The courts have said they cannot do what they're doing.
Right.
So the next best thing is to not bother with the flights. You just put them in the camps. People forget what was being built in Arkansas and other states. They were building prison camps. You don't just build prison camps ahead of an administration coming into power if you don't plan on using them.
Yeah,
okay?
And I'm truly disgusted at how these people are being treated by Americans. I mean, these are human beings, okay? Whether they came across the border or a lot. Let's remind everybody that crossing the border is not a felony. So people are dying because of what essentially is a misdemeanor. Think about that for a second. You get a misdemeanor, normally a slap on the wrist. These people, because of the color of their skin, are being murdered by the Trump administration.
What you're saying is that a young white college kid can essay someone and go free because he had his life ahead of him. But if you're brown and you have a joint on you, you're going to jail. Except this time, now they're taking human beings and sending them to other countries where they're very likely going to die. Or they're leaving them in camps, starving them so that they die. Or they're pitting people against each other based on the color of their skin until they start dying.
Yeah,
he's turning this country into an open market for racism and death, because the next inevitable thing here is people are going to start turning on each other. Neighbors, people in schools they're going to start dragging kids out of schools. We're not exaggerating, and like they've already started doing this, so we're not exaggerating.
No, not
how
at
much
all.
more proof does anyone need? I don't.
No, going back to your if you're a white man in America and you essay somebody, you get invited to the White House, or you become part of Trump's cabinet, or you get a job on Fox News. Like, take your pick. These right-wing people are disgusting humans. Okay, let's get it straight. These are like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to humanity right now, and they're in charge, unfortunately. But getting back to the Alien Enemies Act, because Donald Trump's getting slammed into court to the point where Mike Johnson is now talking about getting rid of the courts.
No, really.
I wish I was kidding, but no, Mike Johnson is now saying, we don't need federal court.
If you don't remember who Mike Johnson is, that's the Speaker of the House.
Yep, the smallest Johnson in the House.
So now we have the third in line to the presidency. The third in line to the presidency. Well, fourth if you put Musk in there somewhere. The third in line to the presidency is telling you that what the courts say is not a barrier to the president's power.
Unbelievable. So last week we reported on. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Stay donating, man.
What do you think it will do to your tourism?
It's in the ass.
Several countries have already put travel restrictions due to the
we're done. We're cooked.
People aren't going to come here to go to Manhattan to see the ball drop when they're going to get rounded up and sent to El Salvador because they're the wrong shade at night. Like, that's not.
No,
people don't understand how much tourism funds how many things in America.
Right.
People come here for the glimpse of this lie and this promise, but fine, it's still getting them here. And that lie and promise is now out in the open. We have now showed the world our entire ass.
Yeah,
no one's the only
thing, right? The only thing kept us afloat was the illusion of an amazing country. We have great tourism. We have all this money. Blah 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 blah. Well, Donald Trump kind of screwed all that up. Everything's out in the open now. Everybody sees how much horseshit this country really is, from the medical insurance to daycare to not even be able to get free kids lunch for schools. Like, our country's a joke. I would not recommend coming here. As an American, it's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. Lots of beautiful landscape.
What happens, and this is a real question,
not
what
worth
happens
the hassle.
if you come here, you are not a citizen here, you do not have American health insurance? What happens if you come here and get hurt and go to the hospital? They just send you home with a $150,000 bill for a Band-Aid?
Yeah.
You're going to go to France and be like, hold on, I got to pay this.
Right? Yeah. Never go back to America. But I would honestly, if you're not from here, I would not recommend coming here until we get this shit figured out.
Boycott the shit out of the United States of America. Please do, because we're seeing how boycotts can affect things. Tesla is almost done. Elon is going to have a conniption and disappear. boycotts are working. Target is dramatically in trouble. Walmart is starting to feel the pressure. So imagine boycotting the entire country. If the tourism industry in the United States dies, people have no idea what that's going to do.
No, it'll completely destroy us. So it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. There's plenty of other beautiful places in the world. Canada, I heard, is very nice, and they're not assholes. They're actually been voted one of the nicest countries in the world. Yeah. I love. I forget who said it, but Canada said living above America is living above a meth house. Like, yeah, that's like the most accurate analogy I've ever heard.
Because like sometimes they blow up.
Yeah, we're just like a bunch of meth heads running around, not knowing what the hell we're doing.
Oh my God.
All right, so let me play the video because Donald Trump claims now that he didn't even sign it. But this, like I said, last week we just talked about how he was like, these pardons are null and void because Joe Biden didn't sign them. He didn't know anything about them. They were auto pen. Last week we said this shit. And then now we have this. This is crazy.
He wants to know why the proclamation was signed in the dark, his words, and why people were rushed onto planes.
Because we want to get criminals out of our country, number one. And I don't know when it was signed because I didn't sign it. Other people handled it. But Marco Rubio's done a great job, and he wanted them out, and we go along with that. We want to get criminals out of our country.
If there was a flight like tonight with these guys, even though it's still being litigated, if there was a flight tonight full of accused gang members, and somebody called and said, Mr. President, I know that this is still being adjudicated, but we can get these guys down to El Salvador right now. Would you say that that's okay?
I would say that I'd have the Secretary of State handle it because I'm not really involved in that.
Wait, he's not really involved in deporting people out of this country.
He's been talking about invoking the Alien Enemies Act his entire campaign. It was actually one of the things he
promised.
Right, it's actually one of the promises he kept. And now, because of the blowback, and you did it completely illegally, and you sent innocent people to the worst hellhole in the world, now you don't know anything about it? I find that just ironic. I don't know. I find it funny, just because last week you were saying that Joe Biden didn't know anything about the pardons that he signed.
It was auto pen, Diane.
Oh my God, but it gets worse. It gets worse. There's so much dumb stuff going on right now.
Oh, this is brilliant. He's the first and only POTUS to not be involved in anything his administration does. I'm responsible for everything, but I didn't actually do any of it.
Well,
unless it's good, but if not, no, it was Marco Rubio.
Yeah, because we're going to show the clip here in a little bit. Right? He doesn't even know about what the hell's going on with the security breach. What does he know other than how to cheat at golf? This guy's just pathetic. This is the most embarrassing administration possibly in human history. This is so sad. Oh, all right. So before I forget, we're halfway through the show. So I just wanted to real quick say thank you to everybody for watching. We love you all. We really appreciate your support. We got some big plans lined up. We got some amazing guests lined up as well. We are working on, we're helping now, participating in putting together a protest on April 30th. Hopefully, if everything falls into place and everything goes as planned, we'll be bringing out more information on that. I have committed to going. I don't know if Mike's going to be able to because he is like, yeah. So I have committed to at least to going if I can raise the money. So if you guys are able to, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video, or you can participate through the live itself. Any help is greatly appreciated. Again, we want to live stream another protest. Bring it to you. If you can't go, at least we can show it to you because corporate media is not going to do it. They're pretending that these protests aren't even happening. Or they're threatening to send people to El Salvador.
Well, maybe Guantanamo. Who knows what's going on there? Someone fly a drone over there lately?
Yeah, we'll do Venezuelan gang members in El Salvador and Tesla protesters will put a Gitmo. That'll be for them. Yeah.
Also, you made a quick mention, but I think we should take 2 seconds to talk about it. We are adding a third show.
Yes.
Because we want to get not only more content out there, but we're trying to grow our network. So we're always looking for people to work with, and we found someone that you guys will recognize, And
it's
James
gonna be a
Russell
fun show.
is very excited to be part of this, and we are going to have a weekly show with Jeremy and James.
Yep. So
And it's
James
going to
will
be
be
super
It's going to be
awesome.
hilarious. Yeah, James stepping in as co-host, and we're going to call it the Derp State. So this segment will be Morons Are Governing America, and then me and James will be covering the Derp State. I'm sure there's enough content to do 7 days a week worth of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There really is. But we're going to do Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which is going to be a lot of work, but we're making a big push.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Cats and Mandas and Friends. I always feel weird calling people by their usernames.
I will always abbreviate it when possible. I'm
Right,
like that
yeah.
in real life, too. It's just a
I'm
thing
still
I do.
getting used to it. Like when I text people, I'm like,
thank
I
you.
know so-and-so, but I don't say their real name. I text
Oh, Jay.
their TikTok handle. I'm like, man, what has my life become? All right, so he doesn't know anything about that. Amazing, right? Just doesn't know anything about what's happening in his own administration, even though he claims that he is all-powerful and all-knowing and knows best about literally everything, but he doesn't seem to know anything about what his people are doing, which is, I don't know, kind of odd, I guess.
Look, this is not to say, again, because there's a fine line in how he described this. The president isn't in charge of everything. The president doesn't make every decision.
Right.
But at the same time, the president has to at least know that they're like deporting people or there's a group chat about war. Like,
Right.
what? Like, you're not in that group chat?
I know, right? J.D. Vance was in it.
I mean, I know he doesn't know how to turn a laptop on, so I'm sure he doesn't know how to use freaking any sort of texting software device, anything.
All he
The
knows
guy
how to
probably
do
doesn't know how to use a rotary phone.
all he knows how to do is rage post on social media websites.
I still think he has some poor schmuck that he dictates it to.
I'm
and he
sure.
just whips him. And he's like, type it
I'm
faster.
sure. And he's probably like, make sure you put this in all caps to express my rage, and make sure you capitalize letters that don't need to be capitalized mid-sentence, just to make sure they know it's me. Okay. All right. So the next dumb as hell thing that came up this week again, this has been another thing Donald Trump has talked about throughout the campaign.
No.
But now has a name, the Golden Dome.
Oh.
It's as dumb as it sounds. You know how we were convinced that Donald Trump literally thought Israel had an iron dome built around it.
Wait, you say thought. I'm convinced he still does.
I don't. Has Donald Trump ever been to Israel? Because
Do you
he
think
may
Donald
actually
Trump
think.
can differentiate between when a word is used like
No.
artistically versus
No,
real?
I know he can't. I
No.
know he can't because he thought stealth jets were fucking invisible, not
true.
invisible to radar. They told him there. He was like, "How are these jets so good?" They're like, "Oh, well, the enemy can't see them." And then he goes on the news and is like, "Yeah, you can't see them. They're like, oh my god, he thinks they're invisible. Oh my god, he thinks we
totally
have
forgot
jets that
about
are
that.
invisible." And they just named the jet after him, the F-47. Oh my god, I'm
Wait a
so
minute.
tired of this.
Wait a minute. The F-47?
Yeah,
like,
fuck 47.
47?
Exactly. It's actually appropriate.
They snuck that through, let me tell you.
Right?
Oh,
They
oh
my god. Just like
They
the
were like, yeah,
Declaration
it
of
means,
Independence.
freedom 47 there, guy. Yeah, sure.
Right. All right. So Donald Trump wants to build a Golden Dome, taxpayer funded, of course, missile defense system around the entire country because we just get attacked from missiles so often.
He has no idea how big the United States is.
No.
Like, no concept. That would be like thousands and thousands of missile silo installations.
Right.
Who's going to suddenly man all these? Like, what are you doing?
And who are we pointing them at?
What?
Canada?
The
Mexico?
wild moose and salmon, or like the little dogs that live in Chihuahua, Mexico? No.
Yeah. All right. So those of you who don't know, the Iron Dome in Israel is a short-range missile defense system. We have the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Unless he plans on launching intercontinental ballistic missiles off of these defense systems, this is the dumbest idea ever. I'm so tired of saying that. I feel like I say that every show. But it just gets dumber. It really does.
I don't understand.
This would cost trillions of dollars to save us from all the
Department
attacks.
of Education, without the Department of Health and Human Services, without
God.
without FEMA, without, I mean, you know, they'll have all the money.
All right, so let me play the video. This is from him. This is from the State of the Union address. Don't give him ideas. I know we should shut up. Stop it.
As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
The generals are
all
like,
of them. Oh my God.
Bro, the generals are just like,
look.
What did he just say?
as you guys know, I have my sources, so I actually found he didn't want this shown to anyone.
No,
but this is a before and after of Donald Trump. This is where he got the idea of the Golden Dome.
It actually looks just
like
him.
It looks just like him. I don't even
It does.
see the difference.
It's so good. It's so good.
What are you doing? I don't even know right? Like what I am so at the point or beyond the point where words don't even come anymore, because it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter what dumb, stupid thing he does. It's the same bullshit constantly. The ineptitude, the ignorance, the just cowardice and cruelty is just never ending.
It really
I'm
is.
at the point where I just laugh all the time now, because if I don't, I'll punch something.
You have to. That's kind of why we do the show the way we do it.
Yeah,
the stuff is funny. I mean, but it makes it exponentially more dangerous, because stupid people with power are just dangerous. I'm sorry, and that's what we have at the moment. So, all right, let's talk about briefly, and then we'll get into Mr. Hegseth and the text chain from hell. Bernie Sanders and AOC are doing the Fight Oligarchy Tour. And they are having quite an impact, bringing out crowds of tens of thousands. And Mike is right. Like, we don't want to get too excited, because Kamala Harris was drawing the same size crowds right before the election.
Well, look, it's true. Mm-hmm. The swell of support that Harris and Walz had, I'm going to say, I don't think we can even explain it at this point. The only answer is, or the only thing I could say is, where did those votes go? It didn't, for whatever reason, translate into actionable votes that would have swayed the election.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, don't take crowd size. Let's not be MAGA, right? Don't take crowd size as a measure of success or political clout. That said, and Jeremy brought this up, I didn't think about it, the crowds that AOC and Bernie are getting are not during an election.
Right.
This is just people that are searching for some sort of hope that we aren't going to just melt into the ocean. And Bernie and AOC are providing it. Tim Walz is going around providing it, and they're getting massive crowds. And it's actually amazing.
They are. I would actually like to see, I thought of this ticket, but I would actually like to see Tim Walz and AOC on a ticket together. That would be
How old is
incredible.
She? I'm going to look that up.
Not very old.
You have to be 30. Well, the vice president.
VP? I don't know what the age.
Well, because if you could be president, actually, I don't know how that works in succession. That's for another show, but that's a good question.
And now we're confusing ourselves. But they're doing a good job, though. I mean, I'll admit, because this is what I want to see. I want to see some fight, because most of the Democrats have rolled over and played dead. Fetterman, asshole, who I voted for, turncoat. Yeah, he's cozying up with MAGA now, voting for their confirmations, voting for their stupid-ass budget bill.
Yep.
Some of these Democrats are no better than some of these Republicans. We're not going to...
And what we're seeing is who in the party is a true progressive-minded person of the people who voted for them. Yeah. We're seeing that distinction, because even a Fetterman, who we thought represented that, is falling back into, well, it won't be me if I side with them now. It's going to be you, you stupid giant idiot. It's going to be you too.
Oh, I left him a nice message. I called his office, left him a nice message. I was like, you remember when they made fun of you when you had your stroke, and they said you shouldn't hold office because you weren't mentally capable of doing so, and we defended you and stuck up for you and still voted for you?
How about this? Maybe they were right.
Yeah. Yeah, now you turn around and side with Nazis? That's what we voted. That's not what we voted for, bro. So I want my vote back.
Well, you should Google it along with MAGA.
Yeah. How do I get my vote? How do I change my vote? Yeah, don't, dumbass. You should have listened to us beforehand is what you should have done. But I do have a clip of the rally Actually, I'm not going to show that because you already have the picture of it. But what I do want to show is Bernie's not messing around, okay? He goes on these corporate news, and he is done with corporate news, sugarcoating it and asking these bullshit questions like, oh, is AOC going to run for Senate? Like, Bernie doesn't care about that.
Like, who cares what happens in 2 years? We are trying to save the country. And Bernie's like, bro.
Yeah. So let me show you this video, and I'm going to show you a post that Elon Musk reposted, claiming that I'll show you the video first, but kudos to Bernie. I like Bernie. I really do. I'd say he could run for president, but he's going to be like 1,000 years old by the time the next election comes around. So we don't need that. We don't need that anymore. I'm sorry. We need age limits on presidents.
We stand by that no matter what party.
Yeah, please. We've had enough of that.
Back when I first came to the Congress and the House, I helped form the Progressive Caucus. We had 5 people at that time. Now they got close to 100. So you got a whole lot of good people. Alexandra is extraordinary. I am so impressed by her work in Congress, and she inspires young people all over the country.
Would you like to see her join in the Senate?
Right now we have, as I said, just a whole lot of people in the Congress. Okay, Jonathan, thanks.
Wait, I got one more. This is important.
Well, I asked you.
Okay.
You want to do nonsense, do nonsense.
No.
I don't want to talk about inside the Beltway stuff. I got 32,000 people.
I was just asking you about AOC because she was out there with you.
Fine, but I don't want to talk about this. What was the last question?
I was just going to ask you one more question about you. I mean, that's all. I was literally your last.
What is your question?
Well, I mean, it's easier to sit.
Look, I mean, just listen to what he said, the way he said it. He's speaking to a professional journalist, a professional reporter. And he says, I don't want to talk about Beltway stuff. What he means is, I don't want to pretend anymore that this is politics and it's just ha ha ha. We'll worry about it on the next cycle.
Right.
The country is under direct attack by its president. Okay. It is being undermined for the sake of Russian success and assets. Okay. That's what's happening. We are going to get chunked up to the rich for the sake of none of us. And he doesn't want to sit there at this time, 60 days in, when the country is falling apart, and talk about if AOC is going to run for the Senate in a couple of years.
Right.
How does that help us now? Why isn't that guy talking to Bernie and going, hey, Bernie, do you think it's okay if Dodge accesses everyone's Social Security information? Do you think it's okay if we deport people and the president goes against the Supreme Court? Those are journalistic questions. Those are questions that the people need to know, should be asked, and need to hear answers to. Not, is AOC going to run because she's popular and we could run a good ad campaign for her and get a lot of views? Stop. This is mainstream media. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be going to mainstream media because someone's watching it and maybe you're going to get something, and it does provide at the least clips for everyone to discuss and see what people are talking about. But the left, in what Bernie's doing, what AOC's doing, people like Jasmine Crockett are doing, you see Pete Buttigieg and John Ossoff are starting to speak up more on where? New media. They're not even bothering with legacy media. This is why. Because the questions that are being asked are meaningless standard questions that don't tell any truth. And Bernie's done with it. We're done with it. And everyone should be done with it.
Right. Yeah, the last thing I care about is these fluff questions they want to ask just to, for ratings or whatever. Like, we don't need that anymore. Like, we're exhausted. But this is what the right is perpetuating on Twitter. Thanks to Elon Musk. The right side here, Mario Nawful, I have no idea who he is. GPS data expose astroturfing at Denver Bernie AOC rally. The massive Bernie Sanders and AOC rally in Denver, turns out it wasn't as grassroots as advertised. Despite claims of 34,000 attendees, GPS data analysis reveals the big number was closer to 20,000. Still big, but not record-breaking. More revealing, a whopping 84% of those devices. How are you getting this information? Like GPS analysis of an AOC Bernie rally?
If you have that data, if you are privy to that data, you are not legally allowed to expose that data.
Right.
So who the hell are you?
But it goes on. The tweet's even longer. I had to cut it off because I couldn't fit it on the overlay. But the guy goes in to say, like, some of these people have attended like 30 different protests. They're just the same people, and the Democrats are moving them around the country. I'm not even kidding. This is what Elon Musk is saying the Dems just move around the same group of paid protesters in quotation marks.
That's odd, because I distinctly remember when you played a video of the Venmo payments going through in a MAGA rally, and you actually saw 1 out of every 5 people just go look at their phone and start walking out.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is what bothers me about this. To the day I die, this is what's going to bother me about the election, is they're telling us to not believe our own eyes. We saw empty Trump rallies. We saw him doing rallies in high school basketball gyms. And Kamala Harris was filling up sports arenas.
Multiple
and concert halls.
Day in multiple states at the same time.
Bro, she filled one in one city in a state, and freaking Tim Walz was in another state at the same exact time, and both of them were sold out. I don't understand. And then we keep joking about the Venmo payments because that's the rumor. But if you watch any Trump rally, there is a specific moment when a lot of people leave all at once.
And they're not leaving to go. See, this is the thing. They're not leaving to go get the shopping done before the crowds. They're literally just walking out and going because they were paid to be there, allegedly.
Right. Ah, boy. Okay, so I believe that's enough about Bernie and AOC. But like I said, we're all fighting back. There are protests happening all over the country. Even Republicans are pissed because they're in town halls just ripping their representatives to shreds because obviously they didn't vote for any of this shit either. They didn't want Elon Musk messing around with their Social Security and all that stuff. And I mean, he has access to bank account information now. And just a reminder that people that are openly on drugs admitted, this is not, defamation. They do not qualify for security clearances whatsoever. Immediate disqualification. Okay. But now this guy is getting top secret briefings on war plans with China, which I'm surprised they didn't leak the text to that or send the accidentally includes the president of China in the group chat. I mean, at what point is how stupid just gets so stupid I want to scream. But let me play the video of Donald Trump just saying, I didn't know anything about it. Here's another case of Donald Trump. This is his MO. Okay, when there's backlash, he just pretends he doesn't know anything about it.
Your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top accounting officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it.
You're saying that they going out of business?
They were using Signal to coordinate on.
So first discredit them.
He has no idea what Signal is.
Having to do with what were they talking about?
With the Houthis.
He doesn't understand.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis? Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time. Anybody else?
How oblivious are you that you do not know about this?
So, do we want to go into it?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
It gets so bad.
Hegseth disclosed secret war plans in a group chat. The conversation among the defense secretary and other national security officials on a commercial messaging app mistakenly included the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg. This is an article Jeffrey wrote about the fact that they leaked information in the group chat he was in. The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans. U.S. national security leaders included me in a group chat about upcoming military strikes in Yemen. I didn't think it could be real. Then the bombs started falling. The world found out shortly before 2 p.m. Eastern time on March 15th that the United States was bombing Houthi targets across Yemen. I, however, knew 2 hours before the first bombs exploded that the attack might be coming. The reason I knew is that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had texted me the war plan at 11:44 a.m. The plan included precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing. That puts our entire operation and all the lives that were involved at risk, because if you know when, where, why, how, that information might get to the bad guys, and then they could, counterattack us or set a trap or fucking military. Like, did you ever watch a Cowboys movie when you see people coming down the canyon and then there's people waiting for them? Those people waiting for them are in the text thread. Okay, because this text was sent and someone received it. We know because of geotagging the data in Signal. They were in Russia when this text went out.
Yeah, one of the guys was in Russia at the time this happened.
And this is what the text said. Bro, I'm dropping bombs on Syria or Agrabah or wherever. Pete, are you drunk texting again at work, dude? You can't be doing this all the time. I'm fucking wasted. The South African brought over some of his good shit. This is a media group chat, bro. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
And the best part about that is, like, that was not that much of an exaggeration. In fact, you know how you could tell that was a fake? Because it didn't include the muscly arm and American flag emojis.
Right. The real one had emojis. Not even kidding. All right, so just so you guys don't know what Signal is. Signal is a commercially available app that you could download on the App Store.
And why did they use Signal? Because this is the most important part of it. Remember, everything they do is an admission. Everything they do is a confession.
Yep.
Signal is used by people who don't want what they're talking about to ever exist anywhere after they're done talking about it. Has customizable timers. You could set timers for messages to disappear after times ranging from 1 second to 4 weeks. It's privacy focused. This feature enhances privacy by ensuring messages are not stored indefinitely on devices or Signal servers. Disappearing message feature. Signal offers a feature that allows users to set a timer for messages to disappear after a certain period, promoting ephemeral communication, which means it does not exist once it's over. You can set a default timer for new chats, and the setting applies to any new messaging after the timer has been set or modified. So they don't want anyone knowing what they're doing.
Right.
Signal is not a government-approved secure app. It is literally something you and I can download, and I can send. If I get Pete Hegseth's number, I could just message him. What up, Pete? Want $15 trillion for some secrets?
Oh my
How does that sound?
How funny would that be if we got a hold of their Signal chat? Oh my God, somebody make it happen. I want to be in their Signal chat.
So Pete decided that he was going to respond. Right? They caught him right out of a plane.
Yeah.
He gave them a very, very, very sincere answer that was just heartfelt and just very, very proper for the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America.
Yep. Do you think he took any responsibility? No. He blamed the reporter. This guy was just sitting at home chilling, and all of a sudden he's getting messages about war plans. He had nothing to do with this. They added him, and now somehow it's the reporter's fault. What is going on? But this is so pathetic. Here's Pete Hegseth. Watch his response.
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail
under the
through.
Biden administration.
And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence. We will open freedom of navigation.
Okay.
And we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is
Not the
exactly what we're
point.
doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
But you texted those plans to a
details
reporter.
shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
We have the damn messages. Like, how do you deny this?
Okay, so
oh my God, he should be in prison right now.
And how do I phrase this? I'm trying here to be somewhat diplomatic. This isn't one of those things that we can allow to just fall through the media cycle.
No.
We're forget the 24-hour. We're at like a 3-hour media cycle now. This is critically important because this shows the world that we have absolutely no national security.
Right.
Not
That's
just
exactly
our
what this
enemies,
says.
but our allies now know that we are fully compromised. There is no sliver of a doubt left that there is any competency in the Donald Trump administration. We are, and the world is at deadly risk. Okay. Again, we're not going to just say it. We're going to prove it. This is from an actual friggin' astronaut, Mark Kelly. Okay. Notice to the White House staff, there is a room in the building and secure systems where you are supposed to have these discussions. Signal ain't it. Your recklessness puts the lives of those pilots at risk. You got lucky. Time to reevaluate the way you are doing things. If anyone remembers when the strike that Obama approved to get Osama bin Laden happened, and they showed it, the war room, that's where you talk about that shit. Not while you're taking a dump, okay, at a Wendy's on your Signal app.
Dude,
but there's more.
Send prayer hands emojis and shit. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just laughing at how stupid
I got you. I served 2 combat tours in Iraq as an Army intelligence officer. If I did what Secretary of Defense Hegseth did, I'd be in prison. All eyes should be now on FBI Director Kash Patel, who will do nothing, of course. Beyond pure corruption, I cannot think of a single reason for him not to launch an investigation immediately. A snippet from the Jeffrey Goldberg article. American war planning usually takes place in highly secure facilities, but the Trump administration planned its strikes on the Houthis using a group chat and accidentally included the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Pete Buttigieg, who is also a veteran. From an operational security perspective, this is the highest level of fuck-up imaginable. These people cannot keep America safe. From someone who is a friend of the show, who Jeremy and I value immensely, a former combat helicopter pilot. While you slept last night, thousands of intelligence officials around the world were scrambling to assess the scope and damage of the fact that political appointees are conducting top secret business on their personal phones, including the bubbling idiot Steve Witkoff, who joined the Houthi PC group chat while literally in Moscow. The security breach is as large as Snowden, but worse because they will be told to ignore it by the ones who did it.
Yeah,
as we know, Donald Trump takes national security secrets very seriously.
Yep.
Okay, and he knows because he used something better than AutoPen. He just declassified them with his mind.
That's right. That's right. He did do that.
He did, and we were lucky enough to get a comment.
Telepathically.
We got a comment from MAGA. We found 2 people who represent MAGA, and we asked them their opinion on this latest national security breach.
Butter emails. Oh, my God.
Her emails.
Yeah, I don't ever want to hear that shit again. But this is
Hunter Biden's laptop.
I know. Oh, my God. Did you hear they just pardoned the guy that was criminally charged, the Hunter's associate? This is like so dystopian. But no, going back to this is so dangerous because we are in danger. Attacks, cyber attacks, physical attacks, like all things are on the table right now with these incompetent buffoons running the show. I mean, seriously, first of all, how do you respond to somebody being bombed with emojis? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're supposed to be the leaders of, well, what used to be the free world, and you're in a group chat sending prayer hands and muscle emojis and American flag with fire next to it. It's like, these are not serious people, and they're putting all of our lives at risk, whether it's through messing with Social Security or whether it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying that just let bird flu run through all the birds and we'll see who's left. We'll see what birds are left. Like, it's a seriously how stupid.
They'll be more delicious because they'll have survived.
Right. It's utterly incompetent. It's dangerous. Yeah. And it's a shit show. It's a shit show. Absolute shit show. So how much longer do we have to deal with this? We don't know because it's only been 2 fucking months. God damn. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. It's only been 2 months into Trump's second term. I didn't cover
And
Trump's first term.
You know what?
I wasn't into politics back then.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my God.
Well, welcome. It's fucking nuts. Because, like, I'm going to tell you, this is exactly what it was like the first time, except the scope of danger is far greater because he's finally doing the destructive things that he always said he would do. But the first time, all those people he fired because there were still people that were going to do their job and maintain checks and balances. Well, this is what happens when he literally installs a Project 2025 approved cabal of scumbacious criminals and traitors. We get people text messaging when our war plans are going to go into effect.
Right. So, and keep in mind, it wasn't just the VP and Pete Hegseth. It was also Mike Johnson, the guy that looks like every Nazi ever. Stephen Miller was also involved. Tulsi Gabbard, our national intelligence, whatever her title is, the intelligence director.
Everyone responsible for doing their job to make America run safely for its citizens is in one giant group porta potty shitting all over each other and laughing about it.
They really are, man. This would be career ending for all of these people, and some of them would probably be locked in a federal prison or a military prison.
When I would travel for my company, I would take a laptop. I couldn't bring paper that I printed out that had technical information on it. I had to have an approved laptop, and then when I got to my destination, I could access the secure server remotely back here in the States so that I could get information. I could not print it, or I would probably get fired and possibly in legal trouble. So, like, we're bombing some people here at this time with these weapons on this date at this longitude and fucking latitude should result in, at the very least, some sort of, I don't know, hearing.
Yeah, and I know Americans are stupid. I'll admit it. But I don't think they're stupid enough to admit to think that this is somehow the reporter's fault. Who buys that? I'm never mind. What am I saying? This is MAGA we're dealing with here. They believe everything.
Yeah.
They believe everything.
Oh,
Nosferatu McGoebbels. That is
amazing.
Perfect. But yeah, Stephen Miller. He does. Look at a picture of him and then look at like any Nazi ever. He looks like all of them. It's so weird. It's how's that possible?
You know when they do the composite photos of like where like every different person of a racial group and they do the composite and it looks like the standard racial group?
That's it.
He looks like every Nazi combined.
Every one of them. So yeah, we got a long road ahead of us. Don't forget, like I said, we got a lot of shows coming up. That's all we have for today, but we have a lot of stuff coming up. We have comedian and activist Laura High coming on this Sunday, and then we have another special guest that I just confirmed today that'll be on Tuesday. And then we also have, Jesus Christ, and we also have our new episode on Monday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, keep an eye out for 3 straight days of us doing this. There's so much going on. We kind of had to add a third episode. So, but thank you guys.
We could add a 4th and 5th.
Oh, we will. We'll be doing this full time here before you know it. So thank you guys for all your support. Like I said, if you want to donate and support the cause, support our work, you could do so. The GoFundMe link is in the description of the video. Again, we'll keep you posted on the protest that is coming up on April 30th. We are in a group chat with everybody that's intended to be there.
It is not on Signal, or is it?
No, you know what's funny? I actually texted them today in the group chat. I'm like, are you guys sure Pete Hegseth isn't in here?
You're an actual dick.
I know. Are we sure he's not in here, though? Like, do we really know if Pete Hegseth's not in the group chat? So thank you guys so much for all your support. We love you all. And, yeah, we'll talk to you soon.